You boys ready over there? There's lots of whispering going on.
Yes,
Okay, we're starting.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay, sweet. If we're ready, then let's get on going and we'll play my favorite song in the whole entire universe.
Cargo Shorts, Boys, Podcast.
Fun! It's the Cargo Shorts Boys Podcast.
Alrighty, welcome friends, family, and random people on the internet to the Cargo Shorts Boys Podcast. Today's Tuesday, June 16th, 2020. Happy National Fudge Day.
Hey.
Fudge!
Gotta love fudge. Also, I'd like to take a minute to acknowledge this is a weird setup right now. We're recording from the upper room of my house, so there's a pretty good probability that we both look weird and sound weird on the audio and the video. So, our apologies. We're working through it. We're figuring it out, and you know what? It'll be good soon. My name is Jackson Rowell. Thank you for joining us this week, despite the weird setup. We've got a great show for you in store today, including This Week in the News, script read-off, a debate, plenty of witty banter, but before we get to that, let's introduce the rest of the guys. Joining me as always, our curly compadre, our most fashionable friend, and the guy who girls see and yell out their car windows at. It's the shotgun, Samuel Ness.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
This is an incredibly common occurrence of girls will just see Samuel and just yell at him because of how attractive he is. And frankly, it's not fair.
Yeah,
It happened on Thursday.
it did happen on Thursday.
I get yelled at by girls too, just for different reasons.
Yeah. Why do they yell at you?
Normally they're just kind of like, oh gosh, you know, like not in the same way as Samuel, but like that's a real person.
Like your appearance like shocks them.
yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, heavens!
oh, there you are. Okay,
It's, like,
hi.
disturbing more so than like attractive, but yeah.
And the person who's saying that over there, we've got the man who is the jingle producing genius, a wonderful Walmart worker, and brother to celebrity chef Jake. We have Sir Luke Arnold.
It's actually Jake's birthday today. So.
Oh, it is?
Oh!
Happy birthday, Jake!
Happy birthday,
Happy
Jake.
birthday!
Jake Arnold, odds are you're not listening, but if you are, happy birthday, my mans. Got
Good,
it.
good luck.
Hey,
Good luck on your year. 14.
we love our spaghetti boy.
Right?
Yeah.
Is he turning 8 this year?
Somewhere
9?
between 8 and 14,
Okay.
somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's as I think Cain once said, "Am I my brother's keeper?"
I do not know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
How am I supposed to know how old the guy is? You know?
Exactly.
All
So
right.
I'm not gonna kill him, but
Good. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, we've got our incredible editor, obsessive listener of the obscure, and Colorado's first ever analyst-therapist combination, Joey Rasmussen, Esquire.
What do you mean by an analyst therapist?
I just think like, you know, a pastor is analyzing the Bible, and they're also, you know, therapizing to people and talking about that. So I think you take a lot of people would just call that a pastor. I think you take the analyst and the therapist and you mesh into the analrapist.
Right, an analrapist.
I like that a
Yes.
lot.
That's really good, an analrapist.
I'd love to just see that like spelled out like on your our name tags.
Yeah, I think I'll make that my title.
Joseph Dean Rasmussen, analrapist.
Analrapist.
Put it on a
Yeah.
plaque. Hang it at your next job.
Put it underneath every book I write.
Yeah, for sure. Are you planning on writing books?
No.
Okay, do you... I know, like, there's some schools where, like, you've got to, like, publish your thesis, right?
Oh yeah.
So are you gonna have to...
I don't know.
I'm really interested. If you
Think
ever
about that.
if you ever write a book, please send a copy to me because I'm very interested in what you have to say.
Okay, I will.
All right, and finally we've got Jack Casper. Unfortunately, Jack couldn't be here with us this week. After last week's show aired, phone calls just began pouring in from all across the country asking for more details on Jack's whereabouts from the past several weeks. And Jack did his best to respond to the burgeoning pile of fan mail and divulged as much detail as he was allowed to do by the U.S. government, but he was beginning to get overwhelmed. At some point, he had as many as 12 entire letters to reply to at one point. Yeah, we've got a huge fan base, folks. Jack felt the walls closing in. The pressure was building, and he just couldn't handle it. After receiving multiple letters and death threats, respectfully telling Jack that last week's hot take was absolutely absurd, Jack flew off the rails. He just went bonkers. He began speaking exclusively in quotes from Chicago Fire, the TV show. Yeah. He ate only shrimp dipped in peanut butter, which are both things that he's allergic to. He started only to listen to the Glee cover of Gold Digger, which is widely regarded to be one of the worst covers Glee ever did. And eventually someone just had to step in. Jack was out of control. So we called the police. And what happened next, nobody could have expected. Jack led the police on the most intense unicycle chase since Matt Hasselbeck unicycled away from his legions of diehard fans when he played for the Green Bay Packers. The latest police data says that Jack is still at large and the chase is in full swing. He's reportedly teamed up with a talking badger wanted for tax evasion and an inflatable car dealership guy wanted for arson. So if any of them are hearing this, Jack, Ralph, or the inflatable car dealership guy from Deal and Doug's Dodge on Broadway in Littleton, please turn yourself in. Don't make this any harder than it needs to be. And if things turn out, we'll have all of you on the podcast next week.
Yeah. I would love to have Deal and Doug on the podcast.
No, you misunderstand. It's not Deal and Doug. It's the inflatable, like,
oh,
guy.
Gertrude.
Yeah, it's like Gertrude, Word's Place friend. It's Gertrude's cousin. He works outside of the Deal and Doug Dodge off of Broadway in Littleton.
I'm familiar.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So, Jack obviously is at large, and then there's Ralph, the talking badger, for tax evasion. Yeah. And the Gertrude's cousin, I wasn't able to get a name. Guytrude, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just totally spaced that.
Yeah, I know, that's right.
Guytrude was wanted for arson, which I feel like is an impressive thing for an inflatable. Because, like, that's a dangerous game. Those are thin little plastic
you
sheets.
set yourself on fire.
Very flammable. So high degree of difficulty on all of that stuff. And with that, I think there's really only one place we can go. What's logically next?
That's right.
I mean, it's This Week in the News.
This week in the news.
Okay, This Week in the News, if you're unfamiliar, is our weekend update style segment about what's happening around the world, told in horrible jokes and pun form by me. Buckle up, folks. These are real bad this week. All right. A bear jumped over a fence in California and took a dip in a backyard pool to cool down during the summer. The bear was seen putting on a forest ranger hat and quoted as saying, "Only you can prevent heat exhaustion."
Flip flop.
You flip the script, you know?
Yeah.
I like that.
It's comedy is you take them going one way.
Yeah. Nope. We're going that way now.
Just misdirect that guy, you know?
That's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Subversion.
I like it.
Subversion. It's good stuff.
Was it what kind of bear was it?
I think
Polar?
Brown.
it was not a polar bear. It might have been a brown bear. To be honest with you guys, I pretty much only read the headlines of these things.
For sure.
I only read in like more detail if I absolutely want to. But
That's what you're supposed to do. Just read the headline.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Why are they there to read? Like, you don't need the rest of the story. That's why headlines exist.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was telling Joey pre-show about this, but like doing research for weird news stories, like at least half of them are either animal related or related to somebody winning the lottery. Like it's the article I pulled up was like, man wins $800,000 and says it's a dream come true. It's like, that's not news. Like that's just a guy winning the lottery. So
Yeah.
it's just the way it is. You guys can't relate to that because you don't look at stuff like that. But you know what? Whatever. A kangaroo was rescued from a 23-foot mine shaft in Australia this week. If he'd played any video games at all, he would have known that he could have just wall jumped out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Mario has made it to Down Under yet.
Yeah. Down under.
Down Under. What do they call him down there? Don't they call them like skippas or something like that?
That sounds sick. I hope so.
I feel like I've heard people from Australia call the kangaroos skippas or skippies.
Skippies.
I think that's
Little Joey. When I first met you, I thought you were from Australia because your name was Joey.
Wow. I wish I had never heard that before. That's what everyone says. Boomers. They call them boomers.
Oh,
Or
boomers.
Jacks. I've heard Jacks.
Jacks, old men.
Old men?
What?
Oh, because they're like hunched over.
Yeah, they call
No?
That's like for males, obviously.
Liars.
And then females are
Does.
Flyers, Jills, Does,
And the young ones.
Joey's.
Joey's.
Joey.
Gotta love it. Alright. And Idaho, man! Set the Guinness World Record for most kiwis sliced in half on a balance board with a samurai sword, nearly doubling the previous record. After completing the task, the man shouted, "Are you proud of me now, Dad?"
Jeez. It's like Fruit Ninja.
It really was. I mean, I watched the video. This is one of the ones where I did just look at the headline because I was like, I need to see a random dude on a balance board chopping kiwis.
Yeah.
But it was really boring because you could only throw one kiwi at the time, and the guy was throwing it directly at him, and the other guy was just slicing like directly vertically. So it was just like
Oh, that's not fun.
straight up and down the whole time. It was really boring to watch.
I mean, I'm sure that's pretty impressive, but like, you gotta get some motion in there.
Oh no, it's super impressive, but also, I mean, I was really hoping for like back and forth,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which would make it way harder to balance, but also way more interesting to watch.
Yes.
You know?
I feel like that would be kind of hypnotizing just to see like kiwis getting cut in half over and over again.
Pretty cool. I think it's
Yeah.
kind of relaxing, you know, just get into a rhythm of it.
Mm.
All right, eBay employees were charged with mailing spiders to people who were harassing them online. In the aftermath of all of that, eBay has begun a comic book series called Incredible Arachnid Kid, about a guy who gets bit by a frostbitten spider.
Oh.
I like that.
Yeah, the spider had a frostbite and is recovering from lead poisoning as well. And then he bites a small child after he's shipped in a box. And yeah, hijinks ensue.
Wow.
Wow.
Probably
That's
get,
That's crazy.
probably get a whole slew of powers,
Yeah.
like all the lead and frostbite too.
Yeah,
yeah, like
for real,
Actually,
like shooting webs from his fingers.
probably.
I actually heard it was mailed in a box that had an Uncle Ben's rice in it. I'm not sure why that goes with anything, but
Fun fact, I can't make rice except for Uncle Ben's.
yeah, I feel like rice is kind of a hard thing to do.
Which is weird because like most countries like have rice as like a integral part of the
Yeah.
diet. Like it's a hugely important thing.
Yeah.
But
Sticky rice is good. I've done that on accident before. Made sticky rice.
sticky rice is pretty solid.
Yeah.
Okay, quick detour segment. Rank all 4 of our cooking abilities 1 through 4.
Cooking or baking?
Phew.
I feel like baking is different.
Okay, no, baking is definitely different.
Cooking, baking, or grilling?
But I feel like
No, cooking
If
and
you're
grilling
good
is
at-
the same.
Okay.
We'll just combine them all into
Yeah.
overall food preparation. Who is the best rated 1, 2, 3, 4?
I'll go first.
Okay, go.
I say you're number 1.
Yes.
I'm 2,
Okay.
3, 4.
All right.
You guys had my
Oh wait,
cards?
I guess for our audio, I
for
should
the
have said
audio,
the
yeah.
names.
Sam is 3 and Luke is 4
Yeah.
in the audio. So
Yeah.
yeah.
that's fair. I'll take it.
I was gonna say Jackson 1, me 2, you 3, Luke 4. But Luke makes a pretty good Uncrustable.
I do.
It's true.
What?
I think, man, I don't know.
I don't know if I've ever had your food, Joey.
I've never.
Well, I've never had your food, so I gotta go. I'm gonna go me 1 because I love
Yeah.
myself. And
Yeah.
I'm proud of who I am as a strong, independent man in the kitchen. You know.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say me 1, and then Joey 2 because I've loved Joey's grilling in the past, and then Sam 3 and Luke 4 because Luke I've never seen you make anything
See,
except for the one time you bought black licorice and then couldn't finish it and hid it all over my room.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
I feel like
cooking.
No,
That's definitely
it's
not good.
definitely not.
It definitely takes some nuance and skill that
Yeah.
you know, like finding a good hiding spot for licorice.
Have I not made you guys kebabs?
You make kebabs?
Yeah.
Dude.
What do you put on them?
Like kebab stuff, like steak and then veggies.
Oh!
And then mushrooms and stuff.
Wait,
you
no,
don't like mushrooms.
we did
but-
do that
Yeah.
one time. Yes, when we were all at your house.
Yeah.
Yes.
You made those?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. me
You
and
were
my mom
with us
made
the
them-
whole time.
No, you have to like.
You prepped them?
Yeah, you have to let the sauce sit and you have to let them saute and stuff. It's pretty fun.
So situationally for the for everybody, I was gonna say for the audio, but only a select few people were there. So basically, we went over to Sam's house and we did like a little DIY kebab thing. So what I'm interested in is Sam's grilling ability. That's the X factor there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Ness is the one who grilled up the kebabs. So we'll have to
We'll do it again.
we'll have to do a grill off of Joey's brats versus Samuel's.
Heck yeah.
Samuel's
I'm
kebabs.
so down.
I'm so in for that. And Luke and I can just be the judges because neither of us know how to grill.
I can grill a steak, but that's about it.
You can?
Okay, that's pretty
I didn't know
impressive.
that.
Steaks
Grilling
are
is
hard.
easy. You just slap it on the grill,
You
I wasn't gonna
flip
say
it.
Flip it.
But
Turn
where
it
it
a
gets
little
real
bit.
crazy is when you add seasoning. That's where the artistry comes in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But
I
like,
just go ham with the
cook a
salt and
hamburger.
pepper beforehand and just stick it on. Tastes good.
Oh yeah. Gotta love that. Alright. I have one more joke, but it's really disappointing, and you know what? We're just gonna move on to the old reliable debate segment.
The Phantom Menace is without a doubt the best Star Wars. Kiwis are not gross. The Bachelor is quality television.
Debate.
Okay, so our next segment is the old reliable debate segment, quickly becoming a mainstay along with the This Week in the News. The debates are getting pretty consistent. But this week we're delivering on last week's promise that was kind of briefly mentioned. And we're debating the merits of cantaloupe as a fruit. So Joey and Sam on the right couch for the audio are pro cantaloupe. And Luke and I on the left couches are anti-cantaloupe, antelope, you know,
Yeah.
lopes up.
Yo,
What's up?
It's lopes versus the non-lopes.
Oh yeah. Oh wow, that's actually.
Oh.
We actually
That's
planned
real.
that. We planned that.
Whoops up.
Yeah, no, they're both going to GCU and we're both going to
Not GCC.
Other CUs.
CUs that don't have a G before them. So
Thanks.
yeah, we're completely unprepared for this, to be honest with you. We decided that we were doing this about 15 minutes before we started recording. So do you guys have an opening arguments, or you want us to kind of try to spitball and figure out some opening arguments, or what do you got?
If Joey doesn't have anything, I think you guys start, and then we'll fire back pretty strong.
Okay.
I would say you guys can start, and then we'll fire back pretty strong.
All right. Cool.
First of all, I just want to say I just can't with cantaloupe.
That's wordplay for you, folks.
Ah, well, speaking of wordplay, can't elope? None of us are married yet.
But-
And so,
Samuel, just
sorry.
stop. It's okay.
This is still our opening statements time,
Sorry.
Sam. I'd appreciate it if you just back down a little bit. No, I'm just kidding.
Alright.
But here's the thing, and I think the thesis statement of our argument here is just, it's simple. Cantaloupe. Ew. That's the whole statement. Cantaloupe does not taste good to me. It doesn't look good. It's got that weird, like, orangey yellow color with the skin just has a really weird, like, rough texture to it that I just don't like. I honestly, I haven't eaten a cantaloupe in so long that I can't really remember the texture of it, but it feels harder than a melon should be. Like, I like a watermelon that's a nice, like, it's a juicy watermelon, and cantaloupe just feels like it's tougher and it's a lot more effort to eat with a lot less payoff. It just feels kind of gross. Yeah, that's what I've got cantaloupe wise.
Well, I would just like to say that cantaloupes are very nutritious for you. I'm just going to start with some stats. We can maybe get into more like personal stuff later, but we're going to go with stats right now. Cantaloupe can provide around 10% of a person... I am so sorry. Cantaloupe can provide around 10% of a person's potassium needs. It has beta blockers, and that's a type of medication that doctors often prescribe for heart disease. And people with kidney problems Never mind. I should have read that before I forget the kidney thing. If you have kidney problems, you should probably stay away from cantaloupes. That's all I'm saying. But, sorry. I'm sorry.
Look, I'm just saying, Luke's dad has had numerous kidney problems, so I feel personally attacked on behalf of Luke for you telling me to eat cantaloupe.
Slow in carbs. 90% water. It's almost as juicy as a watermelon. High fluid content gives cantaloupe a low glycemic load score of 4. I don't know what the scale is, but
That's pretty.
it means that it digests slowly and it won't make your blood sugar level spike. Actually, if you have diabetes, it's actually great to eat cantaloupe. It hydrates you because it's filled with electrolytes and minerals, balance your fluids, and it helps fight diseases because it has phytonutrients and gives it anti-inflammatory properties.
Yeah, what he said. But also, we were just talking about Australia, and in Australia they call it rock melon, which is pretty solid.
Perfectly describes the flavor.
Solid as a rock.
Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he probably likes cantaloupe. Actually, I'll take that back. He definitely likes cantaloupe. And it's called sweet melon in many other places, and cantaloupe in America, which is pretty cool. It's got many different names, many health benefits. Cantaloupe's just good. It's a nice size. It's a nice round size. Sometimes when you're eating watermelon, they get a little too big, a little too ovally. When you want a fruit, you want it to be round, like your oranges and your apples to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice when you get a cantaloupe because it's got that texture on the skin, so it just sits there. It's not like a bowling ball that's going to keep rolling. It's got like that nice little grooves in it where it just won't roll, so it won't go away from you, and it will always stay with you, and it can be your new snuggle puppy.
Nailed it.
Nice words.
Okay, so I'm going to be totally real here. I pretty much zoned out like 15 seconds into your argument because cantaloupe is garbage and boring. Also, do you know what's the thing is about cantaloupe?
What? What is the thing about cantaloupes?
Huh?
Let me.
What is the thing?
Let me backtrack.
What's the thing?
Human life.
Yeah.
Human life has been essential since the days of Adam and Eve.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Reproduction is so important.
It really is.
You know what pregnant moms shouldn't eat?
I'm assuming cantaloupe.
It's cantaloupe, Joey. That's dang right. Cantaloupe can cause problems because the melons can carry listeria. Do you want listeria in our children, Joey? Is that what you want? Or I'm talking collectively here as in the planet Earth. Joey and I are not having kids together.
Well,
Just
different time.
Yeah,
No,
we'll discuss the details of that later.
Someone can cut that later.
Cut it post.
You're cut that later. You're the editor.
Go ahead.
All right, keep moving. But yeah, it's also called muskmelon. Cantaloupe is musk. Musk is things that smell bad. Musk is not good. You don't want something to have a musk about it. And if a cantaloupe is a muskmelon, that's not what you want. Plus, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and I share a birthday. So he would definitely be on my side here because I call him up every year and I'm like, hey, Mr. The Rock, happy birthday. And he's like, Jackson, Mr. The Stone, happy birthday, dude. And, we agree on a lot of stuff, cantaloupe being one of them.
To kind of add on to that, we touched on listeria. I found this article, and it says that here in Colorado, people actually were killed from cantaloupe carrying listeria. I don't know the details because it's a long article with a lot of big words.
Right here in our backyard. Not literally here in my backyard. Again, I feel like we need to clarify things about our argument. But in Colorado, people are dying of cantaloupe poisoning. Also, again, feeling personally attacked, this team is, because of the kidney comments that you have made.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Arnold. I'm so sorry.
Alright, continue.
You probably think...
And another thing, all of your arguments are stupid and I don't like them.
Stay civilized.
Alright, go for it.
List off some fruits that you think have more beta-carotene than cantaloupes. Cantaloupes, my bad. I keep saying everything wrong. List off some fruits you think that might have more.
Probably bananas. Probably kiwis, dragon fruits, apples.
Oranges?
Oh! No, sir. No, sir. Cantaloupes have more. Have more beta carotene than oranges. Let's have some more. I got all day.
Peaches.
No, sir.
Pears.
No, you're wrong on peaches.
Oh, I'm wrong on peaches.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Keep going.
Strawberry? Did we say that yet?
Blueberry. Grapes.
Close.
How about this? I'll let you win this argument if you can tell me what a beta carotene is right now. Nah, don't search. Don't search. Tell me what beta carotene is.
Beta carotene is a type of carotenoid. Carotenoids are pigments that give fruits and vegetables their bright colors. Once eaten, beta carotene is either converted into vitamin A or acts as a powerful antioxidant to help fight free radicals that attack cells in your body.
That's right.
That is what a beta carotene is.
Boy, so glad you just pulled that out of your.
It was on the same article, so.
You're ridiculous. All right, what else? What else do you have?
Salmon?
Green's a pretty cool color. I feel like green is in nature. It's a very earthy tone. And when you have fruit that you can eat that is also green, like the trees that it doesn't come from, like the plants that it comes from, it's just a good match. You know what I mean? Because earth is green and blue.
I'm gonna be real, when I think of cantaloupe, that's not the first color that comes to
How
mind.
is it so hard to say cantaloupe?
I don't know. It's difficult. Well, I get why he said it because it does. It looks like cantaloupe. It's got the U there.
I've seen cantaloupes.
Cantaloupe, which by the way is another detriment to it. Just take out the U. It would be so much easier to pronounce. And then nope, we're just gonna throw a U in there for sophistication. Cantaloupe. No, that's garbage. Get out of my face with that.
For real.
Yeah, but other than that, I'm.
Well, we didn't win the debate.
Yeah.
I don't think you
You
did.
said we did.
You definitely.
You just said that we won the debate.
I said that if you could tell me who you did it, and I said no looking it up.
I didn't look it up. It was on my screen. I just had to scroll down a little bit.
Okay, that's still you looked it up.
I didn't look it up.
You
I
did-
looked down. I was looking down.
You definitely.
Oh.
I was looking down.
You definitely looked down good things about cantaloupes.
I didn't look down any. It was there. It was on the same article. Look.
I guarantee you that
Look,
you
here's
were
the
not.
beta carotene part with the fruits.
I guarantee you that you were not browsing around before you came over here like, cantaloupes. and
No,
just
I
found
had
that.
this up for the debate. It was one of the things I looked up. But I just did a little one of those, scroll. There's a definition. So I'm here with the facts. You're here with the mean opinions and the opinions that are obviously wrong. And that's all I'm going to say. Beta carotenes.
Here's the thing. I'm just going to take a moment with you guys. Look at me, okay? Audio listeners, listen to me, okay? Guys, we're recording from down here. Guys, listen to me. Just person to person right here. Look, Joey thinks he's some hotshot just because he knows how to scroll up and down on his computer, okay? I'll have you know that Joey is not some hotshot debater who knows what's going on with cantaloupes, okay? Joey is scratching, and Joey cares so much about facts, they've got so much beta carotene in them. You know who I care about? I care about people, okay? I care about pregnant women. I care about Luke's father, okay? Joey just cares about statistics. If you like cantaloupe, you just care about statistics and you have no regard for human life. And that's all people who like cantaloupe, not just Joey.
I would actually like to redact what I said earlier about kidneys. I'm on healthline.com. That's what the CDC uses.
Oh, look at this. You guys are just Googling more things about...
We have computers. It's on the same article.
I came in prepared.
The same article. I guarantee you did not come in prepared.
People died from cantaloupe.
Yeah. Do you want...
When you're hydrated, guess what happens?
You're not
sweat.
thirsty.
It leads to good digestion, healthy kidneys, and healthy blood pressure. Guess how much of cantaloupe is water? And I already said it before.
Not as much as water. Just drink stuff, dude.
90%. 10% less than real water.
So it's 90% flavorless is what you're saying. 90% of cantaloupe has no flavor, and it's just 10% garbage that's thrown in there with the 90.
No, speaking of
You're
throwing-
calling God's creation garbage.
I'm not calling God's creation garbage.
God created cantaloupe.
Dude, God said that watermelon was good. God said cantaloupe was like,
was good.
eh. That's biblical, by the way. Check out Hezekiah.
Hesitations 3:14.
Hesitations, that's good. I like that one.
Well, like when you're eating cantaloupe, you have the rind to throw away at the end.
Yes.
You mentioned something about throwing, and that made me think of that. When you're done with that 90% of the good, healthy, very tasteful cantaloupe,
That was an accident. Continue.
you got the other 10% to like throw around. You can throw it into the woods, into the backwoods when you're out in the country, you know? And it's just fun. It feels natural.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to throw
My-
the remains of my cantalope out a window.
My
1 cup of cantaloupe.
My favorite thing is just
Contain-
littering. I just love throwing things out into creation.
Biodegradable.
Biodegradable. You can't just say big words that don't mean anything, Sam.
1 cup of cantaloupe
Alright, whatever.
contains 1.5 grams of protein. Jackson, I know you like protein.
I do love protein.
And many other vitamins and minerals, including vitamin K, as in vitamin Kim Kardashian,
Is that even a real vitamin?
niacin, choline, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, zinc, copper, manganese, and selenium, the one they just discovered in Selena Gomez's backyard, which has been noted to win arguments. I rest my case.
Which arguments has Selena Gomez won?
All of them.
That the heart wants what it wants. When there's a summer without rain,
The heart
when
wants.
it goes round and round.
The heart wants what it wants is a good argumentative thing. To me, it's just a thing of you're not looking at people.
I love you like a love song, baby.
You're not looking at people, dude. You're not loving.
I'm loving cantaloupe
You know-
like a
you know
love
what-
song.
You know what it
Maybe.
says in the Bible? It doesn't say love cantaloupe as I have loved cantaloupe. No, Jesus didn't say that. You know what Jesus did say? Love one
thy
another.
neighbor.
Love one another. Not just love your neighbor as yourself. He said love as I have loved.
Yes.
Perfect love. Andy Stanley brought that up to me. Yeah, I called him last week.
Andrew Stanward, yeah.
Yes.
I'm familiar.
Andrew Stanward, that's him. But he's the guy, and he's just like, man, love each other. So I don't care how much water is in it. You know how much water is in this water? Currently
Water.
none, because I've drank all of it. But usually 100% is water.
Well, what's
You know?
the cup
So what
is
about
probably the
watermelon?
other 10%.
You're saying watermelon's good. Watermelon's like 90% water too.
Yeah, but watermelon is sweet and tastes delicious. Cantaloupe is garbage.
Cantaloupe is called the sweet melon.
Yeah, but it's also called a rock melon. Do you think rocks are sweet, Samuel?
You ever tasted The Rock? Dwayne?
No.
Comma Johnson? Johnson, comma Dwayne?
Dude,
Parentheses The Rock? Quotation marks?
I know The Rock, okay? He and I share a birthday. We've gone through this. You
Yeah.
think I'm gonna meet him and be like, shake his hand and be like, ah, Mr. The Rock, and then just take a bite out of his arm? No! I'm a civilized
Just a
person.
little lick. That's all it takes.
Second or third time, maybe. But the first time you meet him, no, you're not gonna take a bite.
Yeah, they're homies. They're homies.
I
They
think-
got it. Something's had to have happened.
Joey misspoke. I think The Rock was actually having a party and he wanted to eat The Rock, as in The Rock being the melon, actually.
The Rock
and The
being
Rock
the melon.
was hosting the party. And then Selena Gomez was there and she said, if you're ready, come and get it.
No.
No,
Nah, 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 nah.
Yeah.
And then it was just the same old love, but it's a good love because Old Reliable is a good kind of love,
Yes.
you know? And that's why Selena Gomez and The Rock, they don't talk anymore because they split ways because Selena Gomez loves cantaloupe and yeah, now she keeps her hands to herself and yeah.
Alright, cool. Well, I think that comes to a logical end of the debate. My sister is calling on the phone, so I can't currently play the drop that I have for you. But we're gonna wait this one out.
You could decline.
Oh, I couldn't I?
Yeah.
Okay, I declined.
People who have cantaloupe have better brains to know things like that.
Oh,
But we care. We didn't want to hurt her feelings.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Just
Yeah, look, she
play,
called
play a
me.
jingle. Play a jingle.
Should I
Play a jingle. It's over.
Should I put her on speakerphone? She's calling me again.
Yeah, put her on speaker.
All right.
Tell her she's on the pod so we don't get sued.
Hey, Lily, welcome to the podcast. How's it feel to be? How's it feel?
Wow, I'm honored. This is a dream come true.
That's great.
Hey, Lily, do you like cantaloupe?
No, it's disgusting.
Hang up.
Thank you, Lily.
Hang up the
Thank
phone.
you so
Watermelon's
much.
ugly stepsister.
Boom. You hear
Just
that?
assumed it's gender.
Watermelon's ugly stepsister. Boom. All right. Thank you.
Lily.
Thanks for calling in, Lily. We appreciate you.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we'll see you next week.
See.
Can't wait.
Take you to the streets.
All right, later.
Streets ahead.
Streets ahead, baby.
What did
Well,
she
that was
do?
a fun little adventure. Thanks to Lily for appearing, well, sort of appearing on this week's podcast. And, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, that brings our debate segment to a conclusion. If you eat cantaloupe, I'm sorry about that for you. That's a really tough spot that you're in, and we hope things get better for you. Let's move on to the script read-off.
Script read off. Line.
Did you record that yourself?
Very nice.
I just did it on GarageBand, just a little, you know, keyboard typing.
That's pretty cool.
I like that.
If I said, Luke, can you play the riff from script read-off on an actual, like, electric guitar, could you?
I think so. I think it's simple enough.
Sweet.
That's what I like to hear.
That's dope. Okay, so, in our final segment of the day, we're going to be doing a script read-off. Our dear friend, to protect his identity, we'll call him Robert J. Brandow II, recently had a yearbook photo for his senior year that defied all expectations and just changed what the global art community now considers to be truly generation-defining art. We're now going to attempt to set the scene of how this photograph came to be. To be honest with you, none of us collaborated with each other when writing these things, so we don't really know what the others' ones look like. We know that Sam's is the shortest, followed by Luke, then Joey, then myself. So I say we go in that order of shortest to longest,
Yes.
and I'll back clean up, and Sam, you start it off. Is everybody good with
Yeah.
that?
We'll start it off slow, and then you guys can pick.
Start it off slowly. Oh yeah. So by the way, we're gonna give the audio a quick little cut to of this photo right now.
I think you meant the visual.
Oh right, the visual. Sorry.
Do it again.
The
You
visual.
gotta do it again.
The visual is coming
The
right
magic's gonna work.
now.
Oh, that
There
was
it is.
sick! Let's go!
The audio people did get it the first time though. They just
Yeah,
saw the
they- yeah,
picture
they
of that
envisioned
line, and
it.
it was like, whoa. All right, we're going to be returning to you seeing us on the couch right now.
Whoa.
And we're back.
That was sick.
It's
Wow.
good to see you guys again. We missed you a whole lot.
Yeah.
All right,
I loved you, Joe.
Sam, tell us about that photo that we just heard/saw.
Well, it all begins with a rebellious 16-year-old merman, Robert J. Brandow II. He's fascinated with life on land. On one of his visits to the surface, which are forbidden by his father, Robert J. Brandow I, he falls for a human princess. Determined with his new love, Robert J. Brandow II makes a dangerous deal with the sea witch, Bloom, to become human for 3 days. When plans go awry for the star-crossed lovers, the king must make the ultimate sacrifice for his son. And that's where it ends.
When did they take the picture?
Isn't that the plot of the Little Mermaid?
I'm pretty sure it's
It's the Big Merman.
Frozen.
I'm pretty
Frozen 2.
Yeah.
No, I'm completely off base here.
No, it's Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
You're right.
Everybody's favorite snow-based sequel.
sure. Yeah.
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 Okay.
The picture was taken somewhere in between the war after King Robert Brandow.
Or was the picture like
First.
the deal with the sea witch?
You don't know. They just kind of throw you in there. It's just a life under the sea is pretty crazy.
Open to interpretation. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like it.
that's cool. It's subjective. Good art is subjective, you know?
Yes.
It is.
All right. Luke, hit us with it.
Alrighty. Once upon a time, a slightly busy taco shop in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, boasted the world's 7th largest cardboard box. Believe me, it was a sight to behold. You could fit just about anything in that box. Pencils, jelly beans, bandanas, bananas, slightly smaller cardboard boxes, notebooks, fishing nets, calculators, Bluetooth speakers, pitchforks, important government documents, the Staples Easy Button, limited edition Fortnite Mighty Beans, unbelievably tiny planets containing entire civilizations of microscopic organisms that have developed technology humanity can only dream of.
How long is this list?
A life-size wax figure of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. John Legend's entire discography on vinyl. A gnome who longs to become the first gnome to conquer a European nation. A toy boat whose sole purpose in life is to film a documentary about the struggles of breath mints. Nicolas Cage, a 739-page thesis on the relatability of shrimp and other mysterious sea dwellers. A really, 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 seriously, ridiculously, unbelievably large domino. A sentient mop who can't help but dream of a better life on a distant star where he can pursue his acting career free of oppression. An eerie screen that shows a haunting image once every 365 days and is likely tied to the source of annual terror in a small town. The entire cast of Grease excluding John Travolta. Socks, flannels, bayonets, pelicans, your mother, fish eyeballs, toilets, the letter K, beanies, beans, bean dip, shrimp kebabs, shrimp creole, shrimp gumbo, pan-fried shrimp, deep-fried shrimp, stir-fried shrimp, pineapple shrimp, lemon shrimp.
You're just listing all of the shrimp from Forrest Gump.
Coconut shrimp, pepper shrimp, shrimp soup, shrimp stew, shrimp salad, shrimp and potatoes, shrimp burger, shrimp sandwich, human teeth, tank tops, dog teeth, Arabic numerals, commas, semicolons, picture frames, the idea of democracy, most breeds of cats, this list of objects that I'm reading off right now, clocks, oranges, grappling hooks, a 1-year Disney Plus subscription, a balloon that just can't seem to find the one, a Lego minifigure that contemplates its own existence, a bearded man whose only fear is spiders, a paintbrush that teaches lessons to children via an animated TV show, the one thing that every rat longs for, screaming banshees, polka dots, a t-shirt that wants to make a name for itself, a hairball with the ability to cough up a cat, a stamp man Stampy who vowed to his dying uncle that he would produce a self-titled album with his band The Sailboat, a time-traveling professor who thinks that the world is stuck in the year 1855, an Italian fisherman, the artist formerly known as Prince, this sound, crabs, sandwiches, more jelly beans, the entire Philadelphia 76ers roster, camel poop, my dog Pip, a Spider-Man onesie, a moderately sized cloud, cargo shorts, boys, pods, and casts, the color yellow, and the Starbucks logo. Anyways, Robert found a discus in that box and took a picture with it.
That was so great.
What is the one thing that rats always long for?
I don't know, only a rat would know.
I
was
think
phenomenal.
my personal favorite was the idea of democracy is somehow and that's only the 7th largest box?
Yeah.
So there's 6 boxes that can fit things larger than that.
Yeah.
Wow,
The sound.
that was good.
Oh
I'll
my
do that. That
lord.
was amazing.
That was that was a roller coaster.
I loved it.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, am I up?
Yeah, dude, all you. Good luck.
Alright, this is more of a story rather than a list of things you can fit in boxes. Yeah, right. The alarm sounded. Robert scraped the crust off of his eyes as he opened them. He looked at the clock. It was 6 a.m., Monday, August 1st, or July 32nd, as they say in New Zealand. He had a big day ahead of him. Robert was getting his senior pictures taken that day. His mom was very excited because she hired Vogue to take the pictures. Robert literally could not care less, but he loves his mom, so he gladly agreed to pose for the pictures. After breakfast, Robert and his mom took the 5-hour drive to the mall for the photo shoot. They walked up to the Cheesecake Factory to see the photographer sitting at the bar. It was none other than, you guessed it, Lieutenant Colonel Robert Allen Riggle Jr. If you know Robert Brandow, you know that he has 11 posters of the esteemed Rob Riggle on his bedroom walls. Any ounce of apathy that Robert had went directly out of the Cheesecake Factory as Robert embraced the celebrity icon. Rob Riggle, Robert said through tears of joy, it is truly an honor to meet you, but I must ask, when did you become a Vogue photographer? Playing mediocre roles in blockbuster movies doesn't always pay the bills. You gotta get creative sometimes, explained Rob Riggle with a sly smirk. After Robert was finished fangirling, they adjourned to the center of the mall where the pictures were to take place. Rob Riggle explained his ideas for the photo shoot, and it was becoming alarmingly clear that he had no idea what he was doing. They had already paid him a $15,000 deposit for the session, so there was really no turning back now. He had Robert take some tantalizing pictures that actually turned out really well because of Robert's raw beauty. As the session went on, Rob Riggle became more experimental in the poses he put Robert in. These included Robert playing in and drinking from the mall fountain, laying down on the escalator, and eating a hot pretzel and getting the cheese sauce everywhere. Believe me, when I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. But it culminated with the final picture that was taken. A picture that would haunt Robert for the rest of his life and incidentally jumpstart Rob Riggle's illustrious photography career. Since Robert threw discus in high school, his mom brought discuses to pose with just in case. Let me tell you, Rob Riggle ran with that. There were many pictures they took that never surfaced, which included Robert holding the discus like a server holds a platter, him balancing the discus on top of his head, and him passionately kissing the discus. Rob Riggle finally told Robert to lay across the floor with him, holding the discus across his chest with one hand. Are you sure this will look good? Robert inquired. Wouldn't a picture like this invoke my friends to constantly ridicule me and make it their phone backgrounds? Please, that is such an oddly specific scenario. I highly doubt that would happen, Rob Riggle said reassuringly. Robert took a deep breath and posed for the picture. This moment was in slow motion for him. The second he laid on the floor, immense regret washed over him. He really messed up. His role model was taking a picture of him in a compromising position, and his mom was laughing really hard because of how foolish he looked. Okay, Rob Riggle said with gusto. That should do it. It was a pleasure, Robert. Rob Riggle said goodbye to everyone and immediately hopped on his large stallion and rode off into the sunset mural on the west side of the wall. Thus concludes the tale of Robert's modeling session.
That's good. That's
Thanks.
very good. I like that one.
Yeah, I imagine there may have been a large box there, but I didn't have time to explain the box and what could fit in it.
Yeah. Is there more room in the box, or is that the box packed to the gills with stuff?
I don't know. I haven't seen the box. Maybe ask Robert next time you see him.
Okay.
Yeah, we should.
Well, I will check in with him next time. Next time we come into contact with each other. All right. It is my turn now. Robert glanced at his watch. As time slowly ticked by, his thoughts meandered through the previous tasks of the day, as well as the upcoming ones. He began his day in math class, although he had focused on science for the duration of the class because he had unfinished homework to do. During science, he focused on the history homework that he had due at the end of the day. During history class, he considered the implications of intelligent life on other planets and began planning an escape route to Southeast Asia if an ill-intentioned invasion ever occurred. At the current moment, he was at track practice. He began to sweat profusely, not from the grueling weightlifting or from the hours of form-driven throwing drills. He was thinking about the next activity of his day, senior pictures. The blood rushed to his head. He heard his heartbeat in his ears. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Dread set into Robert's heart. In the next hour and a half, Robert would have to sneak away from track practice in order to make it on time. Drive to Jackson's house, shower, practice kung fu, shower, masturbating. He had a killer pumpkin bread recipe he was working on. Eat a quick snack, do a couple of cartwheels, shower, comb his hair, shave his face, eat dinner, shower, and then be off to take his photos. After what felt like an eternity, Robert found the opportunity to sneak away from track practice. As the coach's back was turned, Robert loudly said, "I'm going to go to the bathroom, the upstairs one, because it is cleaner." Ignoring the looks of admiration on his teammates' faces, Robert rushed away. He grabbed his things, rushed to his car, and tore through the back road neighborhoods to Jackson's house, narrowly missing several children and running over a little tyke basketball hoop in the mad scramble to get to Jackson's driveway. He slammed on his parking brake, sprinted inside, and quickly completed all of his tasks, working in a 20-minute conversation with Nicole concerning his future plans and life goals. After that, he got dressed. He put on his bluest jeans, his whitest shirt, and his most strawberry red toupee, and started out. He had run out of gas, so he decided to travel by dog sled. It was a cool October day. As he whipped the huskies driving his sled, he pondered which poses he would do. Getting pictures taken is so awkward. How would he ever pull off looking cool? Then it hit him. He would shoot a series of pictures in which he would yell, then rip off his shirt, and then flex as hard as he could. As he arrived at the mall photography studio, he stared at himself in a nearby mirror. What had he forgotten? Of course, it was his leather jacket. He would have to make do without one. Or he could steal one off a mannequin at JCPenney. He chose the latter. As store alarms beeped behind him, he pulled the tag off of the jacket and rushed upstairs to the photography studio. He slowed his getaway sprint to a walk and casually approached the front desk. Yes, I have an appointment. He was quickly ushered into the studio. The photographer looked him up and down. Oh, God, yes, so much to work with here. Let me see. The photographer paced back and forth through the room. Cross your arms and look into the camera, honey. Robert obliged. Oh, yes, darling, that's gorgeous.
Oh my gosh.
Robert nodded. He felt comfortable with this photographer. Okay, sweetie, now we're going to sit you down on this stool. Lean forward, put your elbows on your knees. That's it, lean forward. Now raise one eyebrow, look at the camera, and say, I confess to the murder of Jose Delgado. Again, Robert did as he was told. He felt strong and confident. Okay, honey, time for the money shot. Can you lay down on the floor? Robert laid on his back. No, that won't do. Prop yourself up onto one arm. Yes, that's very good. And now turn 90 degrees and look at me. I want the posture of your body to be as if you were inviting the camera to bed to you. Does that make sense? Robert nodded. Now, you said you threw the discus, is that correct? Yes, ma'am, Robert replied. Oh, that's simply wonderful. Why don't you hold this discus? But, ma'am, Robert said, that's a woman's discus. The photographer jammed her silencing finger into Robert's lips. Shh. Hold the discus. But not like you normally would. Hold it like a very heavy plate at the Golden Corral, dangling down at the beginning of the buffet line. If you must use your other hand to support your heavy buffet plate, you may do that. Does that sound good? Wonderful. Next, I'd like you to make a face that says, I'm somewhat confused, but I'm at my dad's poker game. And I didn't want to embarrass myself in front of his friends. Then throw in just a little disappointment. Not too much. Just imagine that your buddy ate your last Almond Joy. And you're sad that he didn't ask you first, but it is just an Almond Joy, so you're kind of okay with it. Okay, and then set your jaw just a little bit and give me a little bit of determination. Like you just let out a little fart in front of your crush, but you're committing to not letting out another one, and you're definitely not owning up to it if she asks you about it. And then just lose any hint of emotion in your eyes. Sound good? Beautiful. Okay, cheese! And that was it. Robert's mother would get the photo several days afterwards. She would see her beautiful boy in the photo. She would see the money shot, and she would know. That was the one for the yearbook. That was the one for the t-shirts. That was the one for the tombstone. Robert had just taken the defining picture of his life.
Wow. That was a lot. That was
I'm
amazing.
not sure what to say.
I loved it.
It's beautiful.
She had really specific instructions.
She did.
That was what Robert told me. I tried to capture it as best
Yeah.
as I could, but
Right.
I don't remember all the details.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell he followed those instructions to a T.
He followed them to the letter. I'm so proud of his commitment.
Yeah.
You know, it's awkward taking photos like that. You know, it would have been really easy to do what he wanted to do and, you know, yell and rip off his shirt and flex as hard as he could, but you gotta trust the professionals with these things.
Yeah, definitely.
Trust the process.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, does anybody have any final remarks after that ridiculous thing that we just all said?
Sorry, Robert.
Yeah. sorry, Robert J. Brando, which of course is your alias, and
Right.
we're talking about a different person here.
It's not his actual name.
But we're very sorry. You know, we didn't clear this bit with the actual Robert J. Brando.
Robert J. Brando.
Yeah, in parentheses, Robert J. Brando. So hopefully he's okay with this. He just got back from Florida. Welcome back. Hopefully this is not your first interaction with us, because boy, would that be disappointing. So hopefully you can see us and we can warn you before you hear all of this.
Let's hope.
But
Yeah.
yeah. All right. That in that case, that's it for today's show, you guys. Just a couple of final reminders. Remember to subscribe on whatever medium you listen to, whether that's Apple Podcasts or Spotify or any other podcast app. We don't have, or no, sorry, I didn't change this from last week. We do have visual content. It's especially important for our last segment of the day, so make sure to check that out on our YouTube channel. And you can go kind of back through the archives and see any visual content you might have missed from previous episodes. Remember to subscribe on YouTube while you're there. Also, if you'd like, you can follow us on Instagram at Cargo Shorts Boys. We'd really be honored if you'd do that. Our very own Luke Arnold now has a SoundCloud account. If you want to hear any of our jingles as well as other awesome original songs, click the link in the description of this podcast. This is probably the last week we're gonna drop it in there. So just hit that up, guys. It's exciting stuff. If you want to reach out to us, maybe with your opinions on cantaloupe, if you want to revise our stories on what happened in Robert's photo shoot, again, Robert in quotation marks. If you want to advise us on what happened there, you can feel free to write in. If you want to email us, DM us on Instagram, if you've got our phone number, call us or text us. We're available, talk to us. Email us at thecargoshortsboys.com. You guys, thanks so much for listening. Until next time, we are the Cargo Shorts Boys. Stay classy, Internet.
Cargo Shorts Boys Podcast.
Fun! It's the Cargo Shorts Boys Podcast.